Tonight, it's a Western Conference showdown between a pair of underdogs looking to dig up points in the desert. Good evening and welcome to Bark at the Park night here at Southwest University Park. I'm Duke Keith. Joe Rodriguez will join me shortly. Well, underdogs are certainly welcome here in El Paso. For Locomotive FC, they are over the playoff line, but for the second time this season, they are under 500. For Monterey Bay, it's a little more problematic. Not only are they under the playoff line, they're all the way at the bottom of the Western Conference standings. As we have a look at the conference standings going into tonight, despite El Paso's struggles, Los Locos still over the line for a playoff berth and 4 points away from a top 4 spot. For the Crisp and Kelp, though, the troubles are a little more pronounced. Monterey Bay's last win was June 20th against El Paso. Last Saturday, things started well enough in Lexington, Kentucky for U.S. men's national teamer and MLS veteran Sebastian Lletget. He gets things started in just the second minute. Great work to keep the ball at his feet, then blasts it in near post for a 1-0 lead for Monterey Bay. Fidel Barajas improved MBFC's lead just 24 minutes later, taking a beautiful cross from Lletget and tucking it in far post. Couple of quality goals. But it took only 3 minutes for Sporting Lexington to answer. A bad turnover leads to Braulio Rodriguez scuffing this one into the far post to get the hosts on the board. Lexington had the match level by halftime. Philip Goodrum's cross deflected in by Monterey's Ryuga Nakamura for the own goal in the 41st. And that set the stage for the match winner from Sporting Lex's Tarek Scott, who found the bouncing ball in the box to head it home in the 81st minute. For Los Locos, it's been more up and down. El Paso earned a 2-0 win over Sporting Jacks. 2 goals from the 2 goal scorers. Amando Moreno pouncing on Rubio Rubin, shot off the bar in the 15th minute, followed by Rubin dancing his way past the keeper in the 83rd to put the game to bed. The goal sandwiched the championship save of the week from keeper Abraham Romero, who stoned Jacksonville's Kieran Sadlier from the spot in the 20th minute. But last Saturday, Locomotive took on what is now the Western Conference's top-scoring team in Orange County. And the County boys made El Paso pay on the counter in the 26th. Hammered in here by Usman Silla. Then, from a set piece to nail things shut in the 61st minute. Los Locos huffed and puffed out, shooting OC 28-8. Trying to get his team through the ups and downs of a long season, it's all about consistency in both method and message. For Locomotive head coach Junior Gonzalez.
I believe just focusing on a daily basis on what we do best and our principles and our processes is what kind of keeps us in the right mentality. If you focus so much on the standings and all the different things that we're only in control of these 3 points.
Which underdog team can rise to the occasion tonight? Can Locomotive FC give its fans a treat? Or will Monterey Bay slip the leash and spoil the party? We'll find out next.
I'm Rob Lovett.
And I'm Russell Murray.
You're a trusted local law firm serving the city of Las Cruces for over 20 years.
The insurance companies do not have your best interest in mind when offering a settlement.
Before dealing with your insurance company, you need to know your rights and your options. Lovett & Murray Law Firm is proud to represent and help the people of this community.
Call the Lovett & Murray Law Firm today.
Your weekend just got exciting. Make plans for Saturday, August 8th at Vado Speedway Park, where the Extreme Landscaping Stock Cars, SH Automotive Pure Stocks, Mendoza Law Firm, USRA A-Mods, Holsey Racing INEX Legends, and Anthony Sosa Roofing Late Models go head-to-head to see who comes out on top. Located right off I-10 between El Paso and Las Cruces at the Vado exit. Gates open at 5 p.m. with racing starting at 7:30 p.m. Get your tickets today at VadoSpeedwayPark.com.
Still stuck in that tiny pool mid-July already? And this is your summer? There's still time to make this summer count at Western Technical College. Get out of the kiddie pool and dive into hands-on training, real careers, and skills that matter. Don't let another summer slip you by. Become a bigger fish in a bigger pond and actually love what you're doing. Visit westerntech.edu and enroll today before summer ends. Don't give up. Rise up at Western Tech. College for the real world.
Mesa Trophies and Plaques is the place to go when you want to congratulate, recognize, or honor that special someone. Whether it's sports, office professionals, teachers, police, first responders, anyone who deserves a trophy, plaque, or special creation, Mesa Trophies and Plaques can get the job done. Mesa Trophies and Plaques, honoring and serving El Paso and the borderlands since 1978. Call 532-6466 or stop by 1515 Wyoming.
Paso and Southwest University Park. Duke Keith along with Joe Rodriguez as we get set for kickoff on a warm summer's evening. Let's have a quick look at the starting lineups. First for Locomotive FC, Abraham Romero back in goal as Locomotive will be wearing their papel picado kits. And up top, how about Mendez, Rubin, and Moreno? A pretty dedicated 4-3-3 there to try and spill, or actually 5-2-3. Let's call it that for Locomotive here to start. For Monterey Bay, this is a team looking for some form, but the eyes will be on number 88, Sebastian Leggett, up top. Along with Otoya, Leggett there driving things in the middle for Monterey Bay, and for Alex Covello, it's just looking for that form for a team that hasn't won since they defeated El Paso in Monterey Bay, Joe.
Hi, Duke. Thank you very much. Good to be on the call with you again here. Midweek match. Yeah, and you said it perfectly. As far as the El Paso Locomotive go, I'm sorry. It's easy to see that with this lineup. I think it's safe to say all systems are a go for tonight.
That's going to be the way things go. Abraham Romero, owner of the Save of the Week, as we pointed out, for that spot kick stop against Sporting Jacksonville. Monterey Bay desperate to find some way back. And that's the thing about the Western Conference, as we pointed out. It is so tight. And here is Leggett straight away, the MLS veteran.
Yeah, and it's one of those things, Duke, where, I mean, hope really is the last thing that ends in this conference. And we've seen it a lot of times where teams make a run with, half a dozen games to go in the season, and they squeeze in. Nobody's ever really out of it when it comes to playoff hopes and dreams.
Just got to be top 8. That's most of the teams in the West. Can Monterey Bay make a push? Can Locomotive win 2 home games in a row?
Yeah,
that's something they haven't done this season.
Yeah, and that's key. I mean, you gotta think that Junior Gonzalez and the boys are chopping at the bit to take on these 2 teams. Obviously, it almost goes without saying you want to take it one game at a time, but also 90 minutes from now your focus is going to shift to what will be an Oakland Roots game. You got to look at the conference standings. They're just above Monterey Bay for next to last place, so definitely 6 points that are more than obtainable for El Paso Locomotive going into this week.
Saw the ball hit our referee tonight. We'll get to those refs right now. Let's have a look at our officials this evening. The referee is John Matto. The assistants, Matt Trotter and Clarence Clark, patrolling the touchline, and the fourth official is Anthony Almeida. And there we see Abraham Romero. Let's do our Casa keys to the game. What are you looking for tonight, Joe?
Well, obviously, protect home field. El Paso's 2-0 win over Sporting Jacks on Saturday, July 25th, marked the first regular season win at home for the Locomotive since its 3-2 win over the Las Vegas Lights on April 4th. Locomotive looking to build on that home field advantage as they try to stay in the playoff hunt. Kind of just exactly what I said. We need these, El Paso Locomotive needs these 6 points. As far as win the season series, with only 13 matches remaining in the 2026 season, 3 points are crucial at this moment if Locomotive want to stay in the playoff hunt. And finish good opportunities. In both of their last 2 matches, Locomotive have tallied 10 or more shots against Jacksonville. This led to a 2-0 win. In Orange County, even with 10 shots, they were held scoreless. If you want to win a title in this league, you have to convert on good chances.
Locomotive quickly down the way and earns its first corner kick. It'll be Alex Mendez on to take it. Good effort down the right side. Jimmy Farcarlin. Good to see him back in the lineup and gets the start tonight along the wing.
Yeah, definitely. Farcarlin is a member, is a player that the front office is very excited about, or was very excited about. Getting him to the borderland. Went through a little bit of an injury here in the early part of the season, but he's looking to get back into form.
In-swinging ball that is headed firmly and touched away. That's a great effort in the middle. Rubin, Moreno were there, and it's parried aside by Jacob Jackson in the net. Stays in Locomotive's possession. Farcarlin overcooked.
What a save.
Fingertip grab.
I saw that thing halfway in, Duke, from
and
our
he
angle.
Will stop it again.
I saw that ball halfway in from our angle. Obviously, the entire ball has to cross the goal line. But, yeah, definitely talk about a fingertip save by Jackson. And I'm not exaggerating when I said I saw half of that thing in.
Rubio Rubin had a finger in the air. He was ready to go celebrate with eighth notch. That did not happen. Here is Rubin again, though. Great feed to Moreno. Goes off his heels, and that'll be goal kick coming up. Well, Locomotive puts its foot down early.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Obviously something that you want to do. You want to set the tone for the remaining 90 minutes of this match. And El Paso Locomotive doing that, working the ball. Obviously looking to maintain a majority of possession in the offensive third. And early in the going, Duke, very important. The Locomotive are finishing the plays early in this match. What I mean by finishing the plays is they at least get a shot on goal. They attempt something, and that's what you want to do here.
You saw Diego Otoya a little bit earlier attempt a shot. Abraham Romero wisely had his angles covered, and it went over for a goal kick. But Otoya, one of the new players from Monterey Bay, on loan from Peruvian side, Sporting Cristal. San Francisco native, born to a Peruvian father, decided to take his talents to South America.
That's some deep scouting there by Monterey Bay, eh?
Right? On loan from Sporting Cristal, yes. But John Matto, Alex Covello, is going to leave no stone unturned, I'm sure, trying to get Monterey Bay back into the swing, or at least into the playoff places. And there we see Junior Gonzalez. Locomotive has the 8th and final playoff spot. We're the postseason to start tomorrow. Plenty of opportunity for Locomotive to move up if they can make something happen. Trying to find Rubin. Gabi Torres. That worked to great effect versus Sporting Jacks. There we see Covello.
Yeah, and you see, this is a second cross that we see that went a little bit long for El Paso Locomotive. It could very well be just the opening minutes of adrenaline. The boys need to get settled in, and you'll start to see those crosses be a little bit more precise.
Covello as a player, part of the famed La Masia Academy with FC Barcelona as a goalkeeper. Had an extensive professional career, though never with the first team, but all through Catalonia in Spain.
I think it's safe to say to have an education at La Masia is pretty special in and of itself, regardless of what pans out as far as a soccer career goes.
Well, he's got the UEFA A license to prove it, too. Plus a postgraduate degree. Yeah. Very accomplished gentleman.
Yeah.
That is going to be a foul. On the ground right now is Joel Garcia. A little contact there with Gabi Torres, but the restart is actually at the midway stripe. So something I think may be a tick or two earlier than what we just saw. And here is Torres. Good give and go with Moreno. Have to be careful. Moreno's dark hair is growing back in after the dye job, so
he's not as easy to pick up.
Right? Excellent job. Torres scoops one over, has no open shot, decides to go over the top. Farcarlin will run it down. It's a great inlet pass by Moreno. And here is Calvillo to the left foot and just wide. He smoked it. Not on frame, but the captain shows some good form early on.
Absolutely zero hesitation by Calvillo. He receives the ball from Farcarlin here. He puts it on the thread right there. He threads the ball through and Calvillo doesn't hesitate. I'm surprised that ball didn't touch anything or scrape the post.
It's knocked down. Monterey Bay, if they can get possession, can really make things go. That is a good professional foul by Sebastian Leggett. Here comes Locomotive. Flag stays down for now. Rubin, he's in on goal. And a great effort again by Jackson. Denied. Here's Farcarlin. Sidesteps, rolls it. And that's going to be a corner kick pushed out again by Jackson, who did just enough.
Yeah, absolutely. One-on-one situation. Jackson stays put to the very last minute, waiting for Rubin to make his move, and then reacts based off of what Rubin does. That last moment decision is what saved him the goal.
Last week, of course, last weekend, as that one's going to be over the top. That's a nice effort on the lob by Calvillo. But, of course, Rubin, little shake and bake, went right by the keeper. That time, Jacob Jackson must have watched the game tape.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And there was the difference between those goals, too, is Rubin was a little bit more dead center.
True.
2 weekends ago against Sporting Jacks, where here the angle was already severely decreased as he went down the right side of the box a little bit.
But Locomotive showing good form early. Jacob Jackson on the restart, trying to go long. Well, let's crunch the numbers with Beasley Mitchell and company. The number for tonight is 13. Rubio Rubin leading Locomotive with 13 goal contributions. That's 9 goals and 4 assists. He is tied for 5th in the Golden Boot race. It was quite the drought for Rubio Rubin. Over a month without scoring, but back in the goals as of a week and a half ago. And it was that shake and bake beauty, dancing his way past the keeper. Over the top. It's a good thought. Farcarlin's not going to be able to run it down. Stride for stride. Oh, a spill. Was it handled outside of the box? Goodness gracious. Omari Glasgow there to help out. Fans want something. Was it handled outside of the area?
I think Jackson just completely lost his sense of awareness where he was in time and space on the field of play.
Got it back in time, I guess, to let it go. The referee, the assistant referee, both had eyes on it.
Yeah, they were both on it.
Here is Calvillo. Rolls that one, Rubin. Turns and fires, and again stopped by Jackson, who has been a very busy man through the first 11 and a half minutes here.
You've got to respect and admire the way the Locomotive Duke are trying to make things happen in the middle of the offensive third in the midsection right there on top of the goal box. Trying it up a little bit differently, not depending so much on the flank and cross play.
Good effort there by Tony Alfaro in the back. Gabi Torres urged to move a little further. Oh, it is a Locomotive throw. All-time record, Locomotive, 5-4-4. 5 wins, 4 losses, 4 draws versus this Monterey Bay side. Monterey Bay, the reformed, I forget Fresno FC.
1864?
No, that was Reno.
That was Reno. I can't believe I got the year right on that.
Right. You got the year right, just not the city. Fresno was absent for a year, came back in Monterey Bay. Owner Ray Bischoff electing to take things back. That's a good effort. Amanda Moreno's going to win this back just enough, and Locomotive will take the free kick and a yellow card. Coronado clipped by Nico Gordon. Gordon scoops his way through it. And then it touched. Oh, was that a handball?
It looked like a handball on that one. Yeah, I didn't see much contact. I was curious as to why.
I have to be honest, I'm not sure why it's yellow. It looked incidental, but
it seemed like a very much a bang play right there.
Yeah. I'm a little surprised he's in the book, but he is. Let's see.
It was right in front of the referee, and he in an exaggerated movement, his hand was way out.
You saw the swoop, yeah. That's a good look from our crew on the slow motion. Calvillo will leave off from Mendez. He can hammer him from there, and it forces another save from Jacob Jackson.
Yeah, that second replay, thank you to production for that, made the sequence look a little bit more blatant there on that handball.
So into the book, Nico Gordon, as we hit the 15th minute. It's a warm evening here in El Paso. The shadows, though, thankfully for the folks here in Southwest University Park, have crept wide, and there appears to be some cloud cover that is helping the benches at this point.
And from this point of the year on, moving forward, Duke, those shadows will be coming in earlier and earlier every time we're out here at Southwest University Park.
True enough. The dog days of summer, indeed, here in El Paso. And for Monterey Bay, obviously, not just the temperatures and the dry desert heat, but the altitude. Monterey Bay sitting just off of the coast. We're about, I'd say, 3,900 feet up here in El Paso. That one jumped Abraham Romero. That'll prevent some disaster. And again, there's Diego Otoya. Again, San Francisco native, but a Peruvian dad. Allows him the opportunity to go play in South America, which is where he plies his trade professionally. On loan as it is summertime, of course, winter down south of the equator.
Always got to remember that.
Right. Always a little different. Yeah, you see the folks in Argentina celebrating or lamenting the World Cup loss in jackets and coats. And like, oh, yeah, it's cold there. It's a good lead ball. Wesley Leggett legs it out. Palermo Ortiz says no foul here. Assistant referee agrees, and it'll go out for a goal kick.
That might be a little bit of a guilty conscience there by Palermo. He was very adamant about indicating to the line judge that there was no contact on that. I don't think the line judge was paying much mind to him to begin with.
No foul.
Well, Duke, 15 minutes into this matchup, and you got to give so far the most important player out on the field of play so far has been Jacob Jackson. As far as goalkeeping, as far as the goalkeeper for Monterey Bay is, with two crucial and fundamental saves that could have very easily been goals in favor of El Paso.
Foul in the middle of the field. Zachary Farnsworth. Kofi Chamasi back in the starting lineup tonight. Wonderful to see him. Chamasi, the Ghanaian. It's a good pass, Moreno. Good chase, though, by Gordon to force him to dish it, which he will. It'll look out to Torres. A good cross in. Back off the foot of Calvillo. It didn't go where Calvillo wanted it to. Farcarlin will run it down. Chamasi tries to split the defense. It's a home move rather by Sebastian Leggett. Good effort here by Glasgow trying to get wide. That'll draw the contact.
So far, going to the high press for El Paso Locomotive has been paying dividends for them.
Good pressure. They are turning Monterey Bay over quite a bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
And again, having to play out of the back. Here's Jackson. Gordon. Scooped up enough, but Palermo Ortiz will roll it into touch deep.
He's a little upset with himself on that sequence. I don't think that was his intention.
Was hoping that would settle in. Good look at our friends at 8th Notch, Section 105, always standing, even on warm Wednesday evenings in downtown El Paso. It's a good effort by Mendez, who got a piece of that. Just couldn't really control. One by Chamasi. Puts it into a spot. Moreno was ready to run onto it. Good pressure again. Ryuga Nakamura. Japanese able to make the save play. Farcarlin. Leggett trying to hang on for dear life and not foul. Farcarlin does well just to keep possession for Locomotive. Glasgow just looked like he lost it under pressure.
Clever decision there by Farcarlin to retain it as long as possible.
Moreno, decent dummy. Rubin not able to pick it up. It'll travel back to Jacob Jackson, San Diego native, coming from San Diego FC. Monterey Bay with 2 new players in the starting 11 tonight. And that is a foul. Wow, that is tough. And here comes the card. Farnsworth is going to go into the book here in the 20th. Just late on Alex Mendez, who is still down.
Yeah, no, that was a relatively easy decision there for referee John Matto.
John Matto asks Alex Mendez, do you want the trainer? And that is a nod to the touchline. Cody Simmons, Saraya Costa do such a wonderful job helping these guys out. Gabi Torres in a conversation with Junior Gonzalez, who just says, in essence, as we had in the pregame, trust the process. It is about process. The results will come if you keep the process working and be consistent.
And it's funny that you mentioning that consistency, Duke. But also I think we need to talk about execution and style of play. Last week, the team visits Southern California, OCSC. You mentioned it, currently in first place in the Western Conference. El Paso did what it was supposed to do. I mean, it dominated possession. It had created thorough chances on goal. It was sound defensively, too. But it was one of those situations where the ball just would not find the back of the net. And OCSC had 2 opportunities. They put it in the back of the net. And it wasn't one of those situations either, I don't think very much, where OCSC just dropped back and it's easier for the team to attack, for the team that's trailing to attack. I don't think that was the case at all. I think El Paso Locomotive was doing what it intended to do under the direction of Junior Gonzalez.
Well, Alex Mendez allowed to stay on the pitch because it was a foul. Some new rules being put into effect to speed up play.
All of which I'm in favor for.
Yep. Substitutions, 10 seconds, the whole bit. Here's Mendez, left-footed effort from the edge of the area. Oh, he was going for goal, and that did not miss by much, but it did miss.
It looks like Alex Mendez is a little bit wider there from our angle up in the booth than what we saw from our angle. But no, Alex Mendez, yeah, definitely. I think he's smelling. I think he's reading the writing on the wall, as is Rubin. Lots of touches, lots of attack, lots of opportunities in the offensive third here in the first 23 minutes of play. So it shouldn't be long, I think, until I think El Paso is able to put the ball in the back of the net.
Nakamura, though, will roll it up. Off in the corner, good run by Elijah Paul. Locomotive will get a piece of that. Here's Paul. That's going to be a foul. Takes down Chamasi from behind. Turn to the CBS Sports Network Saturday, August 8th for an action-packed USL Championship Western Conference showdown. Monterey Bay FC back home to take on surging New Mexico United, climbing up the standings. All of the action on the CBS Sports Network. That is August 8th at 8 p.m. Mountain Time. Good effort there by Gabi Torres, who's about to run it down and does. Into the middle. Mendez, great job to roll it to an open. Armando Moreno. Effort there for Moreno is a bit lacking.
Moreno had a lot more time there on that to slow the pace of the attack down. He only had one man available inside the area that could receive that cross. He could have definitely waited several more seconds to allow some more El Paso Locomotive players to try and crash in on goal.
Perhaps just a touch impatient. Scooped forward. Trying to get on that is Otoya. It'll be a Monterey throw. Leggett, the man from Charleston Battery, 25-year-old from Trenton, New Jersey. Coming to Monterey Bay after stints with Loudoun United. Battery, as we say, former Yukon Husky. Tony Alfaro, as the dogs are barking here at Southwest University Park.
Having a great time.
Yeah, they are.
I was taking a look at those camera angles before we went on air of all the fans in attendance tonight with their family mascot. Always nice to see in any sporting environment.
Pups at the pitch. That's a great effort by Farcarlin. Leggett was about ready to send that one up. Omari Glasgow was off to the races. Glasgow will go back to Nakamura. A little more possession here for Monterey Bay, who can move the ball around. That's a good, solid effort up to Otoya. And he runs across the line.
With the past few possessions there by Monterey Bay, you've seen them be able to maintain possession of the ball a little bit longer, complete more passes on those possessions, trying to make something happen. Obviously, it's not rare for a visiting team to take 15, 20 minutes to settle into a match on the road.
No idea what road race is going on in downtown El Paso, but there is something happening right by Southwest University Park. Folks taking a peek.
Looks like
I see a guy not walking, or not running, he's walking.
Looks like a running group, probably.
I'm sure.
Perfect time of the year for it. Time of day, too.
Yeah, just as the sun is setting. Farcarlin trying to get this one away from Glasgow. Is going to get there first, and pulls him away from it. It'll be a goal kick.
Successful piece of defending right there from Glasgow.
Just 22 years old, in from the Chicago Fire on loan. Has played for the first team in Chicago. He is Guyana's all-time leading goal scorer with 21. It's impressive. There are some very, very good teams in Africa, as we saw in the World Cup. Here is Coronado.
Definitely a situation or an assumption that did not come to fruition was what most people thought was going to be somewhat of a watered-down competition with the expansion of the field in the World Cup. That definitely was not the case. I think every match was competitive in its own way, and I think every team was competitive in its own way, and some teams gained a little bit of a spotlight, which is obviously would have never happened if it wasn't for the expansion of the field. I think we all know who I'm talking about.
Yep, Cape Verde. Tell me that Cape Verde would even be in a World Cup at all.
Right.
And they are the darlings and story of the tournament, the goal of the tournament, Vozinha.
Yeah.
Perhaps the keeper of the tournament. Farcarlin earns the foul.
Definitely the sensation as far as popularity and stardom goes, that's for sure.
Vozinha parlaying his World Cup success with a contract with Colo-Colo.
Some of them hanging out with Mexican soccer legend Jorge Campos there.
Right. Rene Higuita.
Yep.
It was goalkeepers union in full effect.
Yeah. That's great to see. That was awesome to see.
It was really fun. Excellent tournament. You have to say I don't want to hurt any Argentine feelings, but the right team won.
And in an impressive manner too.
Yes. Thorough. Midway through the 29th minute. Go right ahead.
I was about to mention, Duke, we're now moving on 5-7 minutes where El Paso hasn't been on that offensive third. They try, and the turnovers are starting to happen, and Monterey Bay is being a little bit more successful at taking away the ball here. Like I said, settling into this road match nicely.
The right side. Got to see it trying to find someone. Locomotive is going to turn that over. What a bounce. Mendez will have a go, and he scores. What a beautiful strike. Alex Mendez knew he didn't have the wheels to roll in, so he just decides to take it himself from the top of the 18.
Diagonal run, the ball runs right into him right there. Calvillo on the dummy, or excuse me, on the pass, the dummy. Mendez takes it, dribbles it for about 5 yards, doesn't think twice about taking the left-footed strike, and finds the right-hand corner of the right lower corner of the goal. An amazing strike by him. That ball was on a tightrope, on a low tightrope, impossible for Jacob Jackson to get.
Beautiful pass, excellent dummy by Rubin. And nothing Jacob Jackson could have done about it. What a strike. We've got a hydration break. On the stroke of the 30th minute, Alex Mendez gets Locomotive its lead. You have to say, against the run of play, as well as Locomotive has possessed the ball, Joe, that came on the counter.
Yeah, no,
after a turnover.
Absolutely. And I was talking about how the Monterey Bay was doing a successful job of just kind of trying to bog down the possession and the action to midfield. That's exactly what was happening. And on a bit of a counter, Rubin has the good sense. He knows that Alex Mendez is making a diagonal run behind him, lets the ball go, freezes the defense momentarily, allowing Mendez to receive the ball and take a 1 or 2 step leads on the man that was marking him. Like you said, he knew the defender was closing on him, decides to take the strike just at or around the top line of the goal box and just puts it away beautifully. Well deserved. I was saying Mendez, Rubio, they were smelling blood in the water. They knew that the goal was close, and obviously it pays dividends right there.
6th goal of the season for Mendez ties him with Armando Moreno for the lead, or for second, I should say, on the team behind Rubin, who has the lead.
Correction on that. He was well outside of the goal box when he decided to take that strike.
Yeah, it was from over the 18-yard box, absolutely. It was an incredible strike. And Alex Gobello, with a word of advice for his team, the Spaniard, who came in midway through the season, of course. I believe it was his first game in charge. They defeated Locomotive on June 20th. There's a man big at an 8th notch, keeping the party going on a Wednesday night. Locomotive, of course, back here on Saturday as El Paso will host Oakland Roots SC. Locomotive. And here is Leggett. Good pass to Glasgow. The Ghanaian puts it in. That is a beautiful pass, but steered wide up and over.
Obviously, on the opening possession after the goal, Monterey Bay brings the ball out, makes a play happen, and for El Paso Locomotive, it's very important, Duke. You score a goal, what does every head coach, technical director in the world tell you? The 2 to 4 minutes after scoring a goal are absolutely crucial for when your team scores, not to give up.
Elijah Paul.
An equalizer.
Right. Taking a beautiful feed from Glasgow and just not able to steer it on frame. Up and over it goes. Most dangerous Monterey Bay has looked tonight.
On the very first ensuing possession after the...
Right after the hydration break.
Right.
Watch the USL Championship in Spanish on TUDN, the nation's leading Spanish-language sports network. Phoenix Rising FC taking on Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC. That is happening Wednesday, August the 19th at 8 p.m. Mountain Time. USLChampionship.com for the complete USL TV listings. Good reception by Farcarlin, who's looked pretty bright tonight for Locomotive, but that's a turnover. Leggett trying to steer it wide and over to the left. Out it'll come, and it'll roll straight to Abraham Romero. They got it to Paul. It's actually legged out on the right side of the area. Moving slow enough. Good to see Noah Dolenmeyer back in the 18 for Locomotive FC.
Absolutely.
On the far left of your picture. Out for a throw.
That forward for Monterey Bay was a little bit rushed on that sequence. He had a little bit more time to possibly set the ball a little bit better, take a more potent shot. Didn't recognize the fact that he had that a little bit more time than what he thought.
I believe that's Otoya. The young Peruvian was up there, ready to receive and still getting used to. I think this may be his first match for Monterey Bay. New on the roster coming into tonight anyway. Not listed on the team sheet.
And if it isn't, I mean,
well, that's almost an awkward header right back into Rubio Rubin.
You know, it's got to be tough joining a team for the first time, but it's also your first match in a new league.
Right.
That doubles the challenge that sets out for you.
On the road,
making your debut.
100-degree heat, absolutely. Good spin away there. Jacob Montes, wide to the left. Good effort again. Glasgow will leave off for Leggett. He can dish it. Bounces Locomotive's way. Coronado to intercept, and here is Moreno. Popped over Coronado. Room to run for Gabi Torres, the Brazilian. Overlapping with Moreno, who's back to receive and give to Calvillo. Ortiz to Masi. Locomotive will think the better of going forward here. Father Ortiz. That deflects. That's going to be kept in. Now off for Carlin.
For Carlin there hesitated a little bit. He didn't think
he took the foot off the gas.
He didn't think his opponent was going to reach the ball on the touchline. He was able to do so.
That's interesting because Omari Glasgow has been with him stride for stride so far tonight.
Right.
I think that's an underestimation by El Paso's number 11. For Carlin from Monrovia, Liberia. Wonderful to see him back and healthy. Locomotive. Chamasi creates the turnover. Here is Calvillo. Great nod back, but Coronado blazes it over the bar. Rubio Rubin, as they'll go chase this one down in the rafters somewhere. The Rubin, he won't get on the score sheet for that dummy pass that he let roll to Alex Mendez.
It's got to count for at least like half of an assist or something.
Right. He should, but he won't. That'll be to Eric Calvillo, but
I bet that Usher didn't anticipate ever fetching a ball from where he's located here at Southwest University Park.
Absolutely not. Garcia. Jackson. Well, two players in the book for Monterey Bay. They've had a couple of good looks, especially over the, say, maybe last 10 to 15 minutes here at Southwest University Park, but it is Locomotive on the counterattack. Alex Mendez scoring to give El Paso a 1-0 lead. The goal in the 30th minute. That's well received. Calvillo does well to get that down. Here is Mendez trying to steer one through for Moreno. Good effort in the back there by Garcia. Here is Leggett. Runs into a wall of papel picado jerseys.
I'll tell you what, those jerseys pop.
They are beautiful jerseys. Papel picado, it's the art of basically cutting out. It's cut paper. I think it's literal translation.
Very thin paper at that too.
Right,
which makes the task even more difficult and more special. This is very thin paper to cut it into that pattern.
I think we've all done snowflakes in elementary school for mom and dad for Christmas time. Proud displaying your snowflakes on the Christmas tree or from ceilings or whatever. Picado is the same basic concept. Oh, Torres, that was a beautiful ball. No one in the vicinity for it. Settled down right at the penalty spot. The Brazilian has looked sharp tonight as well.
And you know, Duke, I have to say that's one thing that Monterey Bay is doing better tonight than El Paso Locomotive. Getting men in the box to receive any cross. On the opportunities they had, it just seems that the team as a whole moves into the offensive third a little bit quicker than El Paso is thus far tonight for Monterey Bay.
And here is Leggett, the former LA Galaxy and FC Dallas man, among other places. U.S. men's national teamer, so much quality in the ball. We showed you those 2 goals in the pregame. Scoring one, setting up the other. Pinpoint. Monterey Bay certainly has themselves a good one.
Yeah, when he has possession of the ball, you can just see the vibe for Monterey Bay just kind of elevate a level.
Draws the foul from Locomotive. Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship. From the grassroots to the pros, Select is there every step of the way. Visit us.select-sports.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice. Here is Leggett. He was eyeing something up the pitch. Decided not to take it. Into the middle. Locomotive is going to take that one away. From Montes on the counter, Rubin. Outmanned, will dish to Moreno. Moreno, top of the area. Well done, Nakamura. Monterey Bay got enough players back to stop whatever Locomotive was planning on the counter. Foul committed. Down is Otoya. 21-year-old San Francisco native. Such a talent-rich area, Northern California. You talk about, as we see, Otoya, Diego Luna, notably, from NoCal.
Who will be facing El Paso Locomotive sister organization FC Juarez in the Leagues Cup next Tuesday.
That is right.
That'll be great to see.
Battle to a 1-1 draw versus Tigres, who won in the shootout in Leagues Cup. Abraham Romero, easy reception.
And of course the Bravos defeating Minnesota. Last night, Leagues Cup play, FC Juarez taking the victory. The sister organization of El Paso Locomotive.
And it's under an interim coach, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
My friend Joe Stradamus struck again. Kind of predicted the situation, and indeed that was the case. Bravos getting a good bump there. Here's Leggett trying to give Monterey the same. It'll go out for a throw. Tony Alfaro. They're pushed up and over, straight into the breadbasket.
Credit to Monterey Bay, Duke. I mean, you're coming down the closing minutes of the first half. You're trying to make something happen, and you're succeeding at it. Once again, we're into a situation where El Paso's not overtly coming into the 1/3 at will the way it had for the first 23 minutes of the match. And Monterey Bay is trying to do what it can to try and sniff out a chance at an equalizer.
For Carlin. We'll go back to Chumasi. Alfaro. Torres and Moreno. Moreno trying to gain his step. That is well done. And whistle blown as Nico Gordon goes down to the turf. It was handled. It's going to be a free kick for Locomotive. I thought I saw the referee pointing Locomotive's way. But Nico Gordon not fouled by Moreno, says our referee, John Matto.
And I think what the spat was
Handball.
right there, the physicality I think that we saw was Moreno trying to quickly get the ball back into play. I think that's what that was about.
Sure, okay. But it's a handball and a free kick for Locomotive right outside the 18. Palermo Ortiz directs traffic. Locomotive would be wise to listen.
Romo was last home match.
Yes, he was. Abraham Romero commenting. Palermo Ortiz told him exactly which way to dive, and he's got the save of the week that week because of it. Kofi Chumasi. They're at the far post. Calvillo. Little hezzy. And I think that is a foul in the box. Might have been a double touch. I'm not sure.
It looked like, the hesitation there.
Looked like he touched the ball, so the double touch on the restart. Either way, it is a foul on Locomotive and a restart for Monterey Bay. That's going to be a dangerous free kick coming. Given up right in the middle. Elijah Paul goes down in a heap.
Palermo, the recipient there, I believe, of first yellow card.
High leg. And Palermo Ortiz is going to go into the book as we are into 3 minutes of MAC.bid starting stoppage time here at the end of the first half. So Ortiz into the book in the 45th or 46th minute. That bat has to be the hottest man in Southwest University Park. Imagine wearing that costume in 100-degree temperatures. There's no air conditioner in there.
And you got to credit to him. He might be the hottest man, but he's also the most energetic man.
That's right. That's what they pay the man the big bucks for, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Ozzy always bringing the vibe here at Southwest University Park.
Call this about, I'd say, a good 30 yards off the byline. Sebastian Leggett on the restart will hook this one in over everyone's head. Far post or far side, looking for somebody. Nobody in Crispin Kelp nearby.
It'll be interesting to see how El Paso Locomotive go about trying to put this first half to bed here with approximately 2 minutes remaining in the stoppage time. 1 more minute, excuse me.
Right. Into the final of 3 added MAC.bid stoppage time here in El Paso. Romero. Far Carlin trying to win the knockdown. Nakamura did, but it's turned over. Coronado. Nice job to distribute to Moreno. Here's Torres. He'll have a go. That forces the dive from Jackson, but well over the bar.
Yeah, well over the bar, but gave Jackson something to think about without a doubt, because he did not hesitate at taking a dive and putting a hand on that ball. Obviously, I think the ball gained elevation in a very quick trajectory there, but yeah, it definitely had Jackson's attention.
Gabi Torres, the Brazilian, trying for a very Brazilian goal.
Once again, we're seeing a lot of, we've seen a couple of shots go well over, a couple of shots well wide. But once again, let me repeat, it is important for El Paso to finish these plays with attempted shots, even if they're not on goal. That's what you want to see more of, and it's something that definitely is good to see here in the opening 45 minutes of the match.
And that is that. 3 minutes of MAC.bid stoppage time is done and dusted. Locomotive with the 1-0 lead going into the halftime locker room. On a beautiful strike from Alex Mendez. Long distance assist by Eric Calvillo. Mendez against the run of play. Launches one from about 20 yards. On top of the 18-yard box, and away we go to the halftime whistle. Locomotive FC 1, Monterey Bay FC 0. Back after this.
Your weekend just got exciting. Make plans for Saturday, August 8th at Vado Speedway Park, where the Extreme Landscaping Stock Cars, SH Automotive Pure Stocks, Mendoza Law Firm, USRA A-Mods, Holsey Racing INEX Legends, and Anthony Sosa Roofing Late Models go head-to-head to see who comes out on top. Located right off I-10 between El Paso and Las Cruces at the Vado exit. Gates open at 5 p.m. with racing starting at 7:30 p.m. Get your tickets today at VadoSpeedwayPark.com.
Ready to build a rewarding trucking career? Join Arrivas Enterprises. Our experienced support team is here to guide you every mile of the way. Apply in person or online. Enjoy competitive pay, full benefits, flexible schedules, and consistent high-quality miles you can count on. Drive with a company that values professionalism, respect, and a strong community of drivers. Drive for the best. Drive for Arrivas.
I'm Rob Lovett.
And I'm Russell Murray.
You're a trusted local law firm serving the city of Las Cruces for over 20 years.
The insurance companies do not have your best interest in mind when offering a settlement.
Before dealing with your insurance company, you need to know your rights and your options. Lovett & Murray Law Firm is proud to represent and help the people of this community.
Call the Lovett & Murray Law Firm today.
Hello, my name is Dr. Carlos Viesca with Border Pain Institute, and I would like to introduce you to the new FDA-approved Intracept procedure, which is 90 to 95% successful in treating low back pain. This revolutionary procedure is minimally invasive with a very short recovery time that will help you regain functionality and get you back to the normal activities that bring joy to your life. If you or someone you know is suffering from chronic pain, give us a call to discuss your options.
The half, it is 1-0. A beautiful look at the renovated Plaza Hotel in Pioneer Park in downtown El Paso. Locomotive with the 1-0 lead over Monterey Bay. Duke Keith, Joe Rodriguez with you as we have a look around the United Soccer League and especially the championship. What else is going on tonight in FC Tulsa? At FC Tulsa, 1 Oak Field. Into the 59th minute they go, scoreless with Sacramento Republic. Las Vegas Lights about ready to kick things off here in the next 30 minutes or so versus Oakland Roots SC. Those are the only two other matches taking place in the USL tonight. A couple of big ones in the West. So we have a look at the standings. Orange County SC leading the West with 34 points. Their last three picked up at Locomotive's expense. San Antonio FC hot on their heels. New Mexico United 27, Sacramento Republic 26. But there you see, the top four places get home field advantage. Locomotive is above the playoff line with 22 points. 6 points this week if Locomotive can proceed tonight to win 3, and then the opportunity for 3 more on Saturday could vault them into the top 4, Joe.
It's interesting to see right there. You said Las Vegas, Oakland playing each other tonight. So those are valuable 3 points right there to get into possibly the playoff zone. And then, of course, with Oakland coming into El Paso, you would think to yourself, oh, Oakland is in next to last place of this conference. Yeah, but they have they're just 1 point behind El Paso.
It is amazing.
It's amazing. Definitely the more of the most competitive of the conferences. When it comes to the conferences, Western Conference is definitely more competitive in the USL compared to the East Coast.
Right, and to that point, Monterey Bay, if they can win tonight and win at home versus New Mexico, they're right under the playoff line. It's so tight. It's incredible.
Yeah, we're setting up for, what we said? We said 13 home matches for El Paso Locomotive left in this regular season. I mean, these points are going to be, every single point is going to be crucial.
Absolutely. Now, let's send it to Dan Lucas for the USL Halftime Show.
It is time for the USL Halftime Update in the championship. Dan Lucas inside the USL studio with the headlines. The Tampa Bay Raw Stadium with a 2-0 win over El Paso Locomotive. Its first league match at home since late April before the World Cup began. OC played 9 consecutive league games away from home, including a neutral site home match, winding up on top of the table in the Western Conference. On Wednesday the 12th, it's the Prinks Tires USL Cup quarterfinals. USL will perform its test run of football video support, allowing coaches 2 requests for video review of 4 areas. goal or no goal, penalty or no penalty, direct red card, and mistaken identity of a yellow or red card. Upcoming national spotlight games, all on CBS Sports Network. Omaha hosts Richmond on the 16th. Phoenix Rising in Colorado Springs on the 19th. That game is also on 2DN. And then Orange County FC Tulsa on the 22nd. This is the USL Halftime Update. Let's get you back out to your match.
Hay mucha fiesta, señor Martino. Hay gente revancha, doctor. Pero falta gol. Estamos a esperar a un gol. ¿Hugo Sánchez? Sí, tira para adelante. ¿Quién maneja? ¿Un futbolista? ¡Súbete! ¡Llegamos por fin! ¡Ay, bendito sea el chapar, doctor! Hugo, ¿regreso a las canchas? ¿Algún consejo?
Sí, confía y cree en ti.
¡Ey! ¡Pasa al norte! A donde me dé la oportunidad, pero listo para dar el paso. ¡Listo, vamos!
This is your moment.
Prinks Tires in the USL help soccer journeys everywhere to drive harder. From city playgrounds to suburban sidelines. From early mornings to late nights. From fun with friends to winner takes all. From the biggest fan to the biggest heart. And at every turn, Prinks Tires will be there for the long haul.
Pain doesn't care who you are or why you hurt, but pain can be mastered if you know the way. Fight back with Tiger Balm's legendary herbal power. Trusted for over 100 years, our proven blend of camphor, menthol, and essential oils tames pain with the strength and speed of the tiger, so that you can rise above pain and get back to living. This is the way of the tiger.
My name is Dr. Carlos Viesca with Border Pain Institute, and today I would like to introduce you to a new modality to treat joint pain, either shoulder, knee, or any other type of joint pain, called PNS, short for peripheral nerve stimulation, which is highly successful. So if you or anyone you know suffers from these type of ailments, please call us at 915-857-4130.
Welcome back to downtown El Paso. On a warm summer's evening, Locomotive FC 1-0 over Monterey Bay. We did have a hydration break. I think it's up to the coaches. So whether or not we have one in the second half. Duke Keith along with Joe Rodriguez. Locomotive with the 1-0 lead. Let's have a look at statistics from the first half of play. Locomotive obviously making the most of the one big opportunity they have, and certainly dominating the stats as they did against Orange County, Joe, but they've got a result right now.
Yeah, absolutely, and once again, staying to form, shots in the double digits. Definitely what you want to see, something that I alluded to here during our broadcast in the first half. Obviously, 2 corner kicks, a couple of yellow cards. Most of I think the judgment from the referee here, John Mato, has been on target as far as the bookings in those situations.
Sure, and Locomotive with those 11 shots, they had 18 in total versus Orange County last week and couldn't put one of them in. They've already got one here tonight as we have a look at the first half highlights. And here at Pups at the pitch, Locomotive making it happen early on. Rubio Rubin, that had to be touched wide. Jacob Jackson at full stretch. That was a beautiful save.
Yeah, absolutely. The one that I said that I saw the ball halfway across the goal line definitely wasn't far from being a goal.
But here it comes. Alex Mendez, call it maybe 22 yards out, just decides to have a go. And it was the right decision.
You got to love the way he looks up once, makes a decision, knows exactly where he's going to put the ball, and that's exactly where it goes.
On the half volley, just it bounced up on it just right. And he caught it so sweetly. Locomotive, though, continuing to put the pressure on. Gabi Torres in the 48th minute. Blazing one over the bar. Lots of good efforts from distance here.
And right here to then the half, too. Oh, here's the goal again.
Right. But that's the difference so far tonight. Locomotive with the 1-0 lead. Alex Mendez, his 6th goal of the evening. We'll take a break and be back with more. Halftime continues here in downtown El Paso. Locomotive FC 1, Monterey Bay FC 0.
Hi, my name is Dr. Carlos Omar Viesca. I am with Border Pain Institute, and today I would like to introduce you to radiofrequency ablation, a procedure that can help with your neck, mid-back, lower back, and joint pain, including shoulder, knee, and hip. If you're experiencing any of these ailments, please come see us at Border Pain Institute. Our number, 915-857-4130.
Mesa Trophies and Plaques is the place to go when you want to congratulate, recognize, or honor that special someone. Whether it's sports, office professionals, teachers, police, first responders, anyone who deserves a trophy, plaque, or special creation, Mesa Trophies and Plaques can get the job done. Mesa Trophies and Plaques, honoring and serving El Paso and the borderlands since 1978. Call 532-6466 or stop by 1515 Wyoming.
Hi, my name is Dr. Carlos Omar Viesca. I am with Border Pain Institute, and today I would like to introduce you to radiofrequency ablation, a procedure that can help with your neck, mid-back, lower back, and joint pain, including shoulder, knee, and hip. If you're experiencing any of these ailments, please come see us at Border Pain Institute. Our number, 915-857-4130.
Your weekend just got exciting. Make plans for Saturday, August 8th at Vado Speedway Park, where the Extreme Landscaping Stock Cars, SH Automotive Pure Stocks, Mendoza Law Firm, USRA A-Mods, Holsey Racing INEX Legends, and Anthony Sosa Roofing Late Models go head-to-head to see who comes out on top. Located right off I-10 between El Paso and Las Cruces at the Vado exit. Gates open at 5 p.m. with racing starting at 7:30 p.m. Get your tickets today at VadoSpeedwayPark.com.
Welcome back to downtown El Paso. The sun setting here in the Sun City. 1-0 Locomotive FC over Monterey Bay. Duke, Keith, Joe Rodriguez with you. So if you're Alex Covelo trying to find some answers for your team, are you heartened by what they've been able to do, especially in the latter stages of the first half? Like what changes do you think that Monterey Bay needs to make this go?
I think they just have to work, Duke, on retaining possession of the ball a little bit more with every possession that they have to create, make something happen. One of the positive things as far as attacking on the offensive third, I like the numbers that they're able to produce downfield as far as looking for a cross to connect on a cross. I absolutely love that. But I think it's also pivotal just to kind of have a little bit more of a retention on every possession. Also, they got to figure out a way to be able to try and break that high press that El Paso is being very effective in executing that we saw in the opening half. It'll be interesting to see now if Junior Gonzalez decides to continue with that high press. It's going to be very interesting see how Junior Gonzalez, what he asks of this team as far as going about executing in the second half, playing with this 1-0 lead.
You would imagine Locomotive will continue to go for it. It seems to be their MO to keep their foot on the gas when and where they can, and I would think that they're looking for an insurance goal.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think the goal here, the objective, not to use the same word twice, the objective here in the second half is to extend this lead here in the second half. And obviously, with the personnel that he has out there, the 11 players that he has for that are going to start the second half, that definitely seems to be the case.
No changes that we're aware of to start our second half of play. Goalie change from Monterey, Ciaran Dalton. I don't know if Jackson was shaken up. He certainly was having to make some athletic saves, but Ciaran Dalton will take Jackson's place for half number 2. And Kelsey Egwu coming in for Nico Gordon for Monterey Bay. So 2 halftime substitutions for Alex Covelo, including the keeper. And I would imagine as well as Jackson did in the first half, has to be an injury situation.
Yeah, no, definitely, without a doubt. He was the biggest protagonist he was the biggest role player for Monterey Bay in the opening 45 minutes. That definitely has to be the case.
So
got to be a safe assumption.
Ciaran Dalton coming in from New York Red Bulls 2, native of Pearl River, New York. 22 years old, replacing the 26-year-old Jacob Jackson. And you see Alex Covelo trying to get his team some traction tonight. Well, Locomotive has already done what they could not do June 20th in Monterey, and that's score. Gabi Torres, lots of room. To the captain, Eric Calvillo. Farcarlin trying to dance his way wide and gets taken by Omari Glasgow. Glasgow's been full value tonight. Beautiful cross for one of the best opportunities Monterey Bay had.
Most entertaining battle, too, we've seen on the field so far between Farcarlin and Gasco.
Palermo wins the ball, trying to throw it out to Amanda Morel. Gabi Torres and Morel operating at acres of space on that left wing. Mendez, good effort from the middle of that Monterey defense. Foul whistle on Calvillo. Quickly taken by Monterey Bay. It's chipped forward. Monterey Bay, good box entry, but the pass is off target. Farcarlin was there. Calvillo deflected. Good defense by Nakamura. Good pressure here by Monterey Bay, but they can't thread the needle. Farcarlin.
Yeah, that was a bit of a missed kick right there. It seemed like that was going to be. I think he wanted a bit more of an elevated cross on that one. That wasn't the case.
He's been going toe-to-toe with Glasgow all night long. It does result in a Locomotive throw, as does this. Locomotive out of a bit of danger there, provided by Monterey Bay. Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship. From the grassroots to the pros, Select is there every step of the way. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice. Off along the left, Gabi Torres steering that one in, handled easily by Dalton, who is then fouled. Actually, foul as he gets shoved down after Rubio Rubin pushes the defender into him. Rubin forceful.
You would have to think that El Paso wants to make Dalton make decisions here quickly.
As it is, Monterey Bay looking up top for Otoya. It'll bounce, deflected. Abraham Romero trying to run it down, and it'll stay in play. Just deflected and keeping that one from becoming a corner kick. Good thinking by Romero.
Good idea there by Gabi Torres. Comes up a little bit short. Like I was saying, Duke, you'd think with a brand new goalkeeper coming on at the half, El Paso would want to make sure he has to touch the ball some way, somehow, give him something to think about here in the early going. That necessarily hasn't been the case. But now we're moving 5 minutes into the opening half. I have to say I'm a little bit surprised with Monterey Bay. They're trailing in the score. They would have to be the ones that should be a little bit more proactive as far as getting things going here in the second half. I don't think that's necessarily been the case. I think taking a bit of a wait-and-see approach to see what El Paso's going to do and kind of waiting for something to happen. And
that could be dangerous.
I'm not liking that very much, yeah.
Yeah, here's Ortiz. Good distribution to Farcarlin. And that will roll off of Farcarlin's feet.
There has to be a point that if you're trailing in the game, you have to dictate the conditions on the field of play, or at least try and make that happen and not depend on what your opponent is doing.
Jet, just great touch to split the defense and find the pass. And that'll swing Leggett up the right side. Leggett, great move, and has to be touched wide. Romero, what a stop.
What would be the opposite of the announcer's curse? It looks like they heard what I was saying, and they're like, all right, Joe, we'll show you a little bit something, shut you up in the broadcast booth just a bit. Nice offensive attack there by Monterey. Heck of a save by Romero.
Outstanding work in Monterey Bay, earns the corner kick. That is their first corner of the night coming up. Here is Leggett. Leggett swings at far post. That's knotted down. Looking for the foul, but not getting the call is Nakamura. Goal kick. Soccer season is here, and SeatGeek is the official ticketing partner of the USL. Get all your USL tickets and more from the #1 ticketing site, SeatGeek. Your ticket to great seats. Leggett. Egwu working on that right defensive wing for Monterey Bay since coming on to replace Nico Gordon. Well done to Elijah Paul. Glasgow, Monterey Bay showing a little more danger. Glasgow and Farcarlin have been battling all night long. Farcarlin draws the foul.
Good sportsmanship there by both players, helping each other up.
Well done by Jimmy Farcarlin.
Good battle.
Into the 53rd minute, 1-0 Locomotive. Not really looking so dangerous in maybe the open 7+ minutes.
Yeah, no, but in the last couple of minutes, Monterey Bay has turned up that offensive intensity, which is what I expected to see from them.
Gabi Torres trying to take some air out. Mendez. It appears right now Mendez is a little deeper than maybe he was in the first half. It's a good feed. Chamasi trying to make it work with Rubin. Great effort taken down, and no penalty call for Farcarlin, who takes his seat but does not earn the penalty. The referee in the vicinity, John Matto.
No hesitation there on that no call by Matto.
Hand up, he says, no way. Torres, off target. Leggett into the middle. Give and go back out to Leggett. That looked a little awkward from Leggett. Locomotive shuts that one down pretty nicely. Leggett nowhere to go. Glasgow. One cleanly. Glasgow stays down. Locomotive keeps on trucking. Farcarlin rolls that one nicely for Rubin. Rubin trying to cross it, and that's just a little too slow.
Yeah, and
good effort to get back by Garcia.
Not enough mustard on that cross. Something that I have noticed, Duke, credit to El Paso, something we haven't mentioned thus far. It looks like Leggett has the green light to just roam around and be a rover on the offensive third on the ball, shifting from flank to flank, left to right at will. El Paso's done a good job of neutralizing him. He hasn't gotten that many touches, and he's working hard to try and get them. Obviously, we all know the threat he can be.
Locomotive trying one from distance, and that'll deflect out for a corner kick. Great job by Palermo Ortiz. Decides to heave-ho from about 45 yards out and wins Locomotive a corner kick. Saw something open. Locomotive bench active on the touchline. Alex Mendez back with Robert Coronado. Third corner of the night for Locomotive. Mendez will swing that one a little too far, one down. Trying to get a hold of that. Locomotive will. Alfaro was there. up top. Nowhere to go for Farcarlin. Coronado, that's dangerous. It's going to get a touch on that and win it back for Locomotive, but in the end, Dalton handles his business, quick distribution. It's going to stay in play. Glasgow legs it out again, working on Torres. Glasgow rolls one. Oh, nicely done, and it's in. Offside flag goes up. It doesn't matter. Leggett was there. The flag is up. Beautiful touch by Otoya. Give all the credit in the world to Amari Glasgow, who just went down and won that ball in the corner.
Yeah, absolutely. Man's got an iron lung. No fatigue on that. Can run up and down that flank as has been doing the case. And nice little triangulation there. Very natural. No hesitation. But, of course, the offside was very clear and evident. No controversy on that decision by the linesman.
Assistant referees Matt Trotter, Clarence Clark. Tonight to John Matto in the middle. Our fourth is Anthony Almeida. And here is Moreno. That's a missed pass. Right into the middle. Elijah Paul. Distribution trying to bring it down is Leggett, who does and does not miss by much. Monterey Bay showing some venom.
Absolutely. Apparently their decision to kind of ease into the second half, something that I called them out for, was the right one. Definitely biding their time here to open up an offensive attack, and that's exactly what they're doing. Have been doing at it, going at it for approximately the last 8 minutes. Showing more offensive intent, more offensive spark than El Paso.
Can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC channel 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access on Tuesday nights. Here's Monterey Bay, and that does not stay in. A little hot foot for Tony Alfaro, but Wesley Leggett not able to keep that in play. It will be a goal kick. And they're in the dugout, our crew, handling business. As we were saying, USL All Access Tuesday nights. Plus your live matches for USL, MLS, Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XM FC channel 157 and the Sirius XM app.
Matt laying down the line here, or laying down the law.
Right, and I think that there is, again, that's great pressure. Gabi Torres as the foul committed by Montes, taking down Mendez.
Effective pressure for Monterey Bay here in the most recent sequences. They're working a bit of a high press, and it's causing El Paso to
some issues.
Give up a couple of takeaways here in the last couple of sequences.
Yeah, you don't often see Gabi Torres mishandled, but kind of forced into it.
Did it two times in a row. Granted, the one before that, it was a bad bounce. Just kind of went over his head. He misjudged the ball a little bit, which is also something you don't see very much of.
How about this pressure? That's Leggett. Leggett just took it off the foot of Kofi Tomasi. And I guess left a leg out as he was on the turf. It's a free kick for Locomotive. I heard the whistle.
Referee saying he touched it with his hand on the way down.
Wow,
apparently.
Okay. That's the second straight time in two different halves we've seen that whistle come out for a handball in pretty much the same spot. And I think a yellow card was just issued to Alex Cobello. So into the book goes the head coach in the 60th minute. He didn't like the call.
I'm starting to think someone's listening to our broadcast on that Monterey bench. I call them out for not having an offensive attack. That fires up. I point out Leggett is not that El Paso's doing a good job in neutralizing him, and then he's starting to shine.
That's going to be a foul on Farcarlin, and back the other way we will go.
Someone's getting my critiques of them down to them on the field of play, and
Joe Stradama strikes again. Out along the right side, it skips away from Garcia. Locomotive with some space. It's a nice thought. Moreno not able to hook it up. Torres to Moreno. Lofts in a nice one. That has to be headed out. Glasgow on it. One back again. Good pressure by Locomotive. Out along the right side, and it'll be another corner kick. Excellent work by Alex Mendez.
Locomotive trying to turn the tide here as far as offensive attacks goes here. Obviously, Monterey Bay getting the better of it in these last 10 minutes. El Paso trying to do something to change that tide around.
Fourth corner of the night for Locomotive. 2-1 for Monterey Bay. As we enter the 62nd minute, in swinging ball again. Glasgow there to meet it. Up over the top, and that's going to go out for a corner, and dangerous. The header goes back. Ciaran Dalton knew what was about to happen and tried to stop it, could not get there.
Caught him a bit by surprise there on Dalton. He reacted to that ball once he saw that it was going to go far right of his goal. He just let it go, but it definitely got his attention.
Here's Mendez again. He'll roll this one short to Calvillo. Calvillo has a go. That's blocked away. It's a good keep by Torres. Calvillo up to Moreno. And good effort there coming off his line quickly. Ciaran Dalton not missing a beat. I'll tell you what, having to come in at the half, not probably thinking you would. Young man from Pearl River, New York, showing himself nicely.
The nice quick turnaround on that sequence right there by Moreno. That was nice. Something I haven't seen in a while out of him. Would like to see more of.
Quickly over the top. That's going to be a pull from behind on Elijah Paul. As he takes down Palermo Ortiz. Ortiz spent a lot of the first part of the season injured, the 32-year-old from Monterey. Of course, many-year veteran of Liga MX, which is where he came to Locomotive from. Locomotive's sister club, as Joe points out, Bravos, across the border in Ciudad Juarez. On alone, but stuck around. Here's Moreno.
Really enjoying his time here in El Paso.
And that's wonderful to hear. Here's Farcarlin. Good distribution by Rubin. Farcarlin to the byline. Still in that battle with Glasgow every step of the way. And Farcarlin's going to get the better of that. Another corner for El Paso. Sixth of the night.
Yeah, no, absolutely. El Paso doing an efficient job turning the tide, like I mentioned. Game's not developing more. It's becoming more of a moments sequence of events, not so much of a back and forth as far as the offensive attacks. Looks like El Paso is going to dominate here for the next couple of minutes.
Mendez again. In swinging ball, a low drive, and that's headed out of trouble.
Bit of a miss hit there, it appeared. Nice takeaway.
Alex Mendez there. I think Leggett got to it, but didn't really put anything behind it. Locomotive keeps it on the Monterey Bay half of the pitch. Alfaro, slow roller. Going to get there. Almost a great exchange. Torres, first time to Armando Moreno. And here is Moreno. This hit. USL Championship and League One are on CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. Catch live matches and expert analysis every day on the CBS Sports Golazo Network and ESPN Plus. Go to USLChampionship.com for the complete USL TV listings. Ortiz, well won. Coronado. Oh, that's going to bounce cleanly. Rubin slipped it wide. How in the world?
Dalton had to have got something on that. They're not calling a corner kick, they're calling a goal kick, but I don't see how the ball could have deviated that far right without Dalton having something to do with that on that play, on that shot.
Almost a repeat performance of Rubin from Calvillo that won them a goal to ice the game. And here are a couple of substitutions. Noah Dolenmeyer about ready to make his way back onto the pitch to replace Eric Calvillo. And Jimmy Farcarlin will give way to Beto Avila. Also, actually Avila on for Amanda Moreno. So that was Moreno's last bit of work here for Locomotive FC. Good to see the big Californian back onto the pitch for Locomotive. 6'5", coming to Locomotive originally on loan from LAFC. Stuck around El Paso, spent a little bit of the latter part of the last season with San Antonio.
We don't like to talk about that.
Well, yeah, he's back with El Paso.
Absolutely. Always good to see a player come off of an injury stint back in, hopefully in good form.
Right? Back in the dry heat. As opposed to the Alamo City, which is not. There's Gabi Torres with him stride for stride as Joel Garcia forces the Brazilian to go back. Good work around here. Memo Diaz is on the pitch. Rolled up, almost got it to Rubin. Good cover in the back for Monterey. Memo Diaz will come on for Farcarlin. So that was that substitution. Triple sub here for Locomotive. Good to see Memo Diaz get some minutes as well.
Absolutely, and I think he's a player that Junior Gonzalez has always referred to Duke as someone that comes on and provides a spark for El Paso Locomotive. That's definitely been his MO in both of his stints here with the Locomotive. And yeah, you know, anytime he gets minutes, it's definitely a player that you need to keep your eye on.
Former member of the Laredo Heat. I'm not sure if you can refer to the Heat as a professional team, but really got his pro start here in El Paso. Former New Mexico Player of the Year that's lost out for a throw off the foot of Egwu. Of course, the all-time assists leader for Roots SC, which will be in town on Saturday night to take on Locomotive.
He was a very fundamental player for the Roots in his time there.
Absolutely.
Almost a automatic, undeniable starter.
Great work at fullback and on the wing. Rubin leaned into that. Working on Nakamura. But Monterey Bay will wind up with possession. Dalton looking to distribute it to Leggett, but Noah Dolenmeyer on him. Here's Tomasi. Good step in. Draws the double team. Can he keep it? No. That's Leggett doing defensive work down in the corner. You pointed out he's free to go wherever he wants. Well, when you have his pedigree, why wouldn't you let him do what he wants?
Yeah, you know, man with experience, and also at his age, you would have to think he knows how to disperse his energy well over the course of 90 minutes. So he can pick and choose his spots wisely as far as where he feels he's needed or where he could be the biggest asset for his team.
33-year-old San Francisco native back in Northern California himself, talking about those talented NorCal players. NorCal. We should say NorCal.
Where does NorCal begin and SoCal begin?
I don't know. We're going to need a Californian to answer that. Maybe Mike DiGiulio can.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Can let us know where the dividing line is. What's the Mason-Dixon line for Northern and Southern California? Oh,
Bakersfield, maybe?
Robert Coronado goes down in a heap. He's going to be whistled for the foul and a free kick coming as he gets tangled with Joel Garcia. So free kick coming from Monterey Bay. Coronado celebrating his jersey-numbered birthday earlier this week. Happy birthday to Robert Coronado. A little the worse for wear out of that. But here is Sebastian Leggett.
And, you know, I've said it before about Coronado, Duke. He's a role player, obviously, because of his position, holding midfielder. That position is not necessarily a standout position, but he has become very effective at executing, playing that role of the six. You know, the 6 hole right there, the 6 man. The 6 defensive midfielder.
It'll be Leggett. Outswinging ball. It's knotted wide by Mendez, who rises to meet it. Farnsworth goes down to get it. Looks like Glasgow there for a reason. Doesn't look like they're particularly set up for a long throw. 5'9", 22-year-old in from Chicago. That's a pretty long throw right into the middle. Nodded out. Looks like Alfaro got his head to it. Beautifully done. Mendes to Rubin. One man to beat. Avila crossing, and it's too high. It was a great thought by Rubin, but could not square it.
Too high and a little bit too much velocity on that cross for Beto Avila to get there, make contact.
Looking for his 14th goal contribution and nearly got it, but
I stand corrected. The velocity was about right.
Just a little too high for Avila to wrap a foot around it.
It's more of a question of positioning.
The Dogs appreciate the effort. Well, they are barking away tonight. Coronado. Alfaro. Pups at the pitch here for Locomotive FC this evening. Dolenmeyer, that is not on target. And a substitution coming. Glasgow didn't like it. The referee says, hey, you have two replacements coming in, man. Here you go. So here's one of the other new players, Quinton Elliott, on to replace Joel Garcia, who's put in a shift tonight. And Belmar Joseph will take on Jacob Montes' role. The double sub here for Alex Cobello. Here's Egwu. And immediately involved is Elliott. Ooh, left a foot in. That's dangerous as Kofi Tumasi ran right into it.
Surprised on that decision by Matto on withholding the card on that player from Monterey Bay.
It's literally his first 15 seconds on the pitch. But, yes. Shouldn't say literally. It's not wording. It is actually his first 15 seconds of the pitch. But did leave the foot in, and that was a late foul.
El Paso got a couple of red cards earlier in the season for stuff like that. I'm just bringing it up.
You're right. Hey, we're honest here. We're honest. Locomotive midway through the 74th minute hanging on to that 1-0 lead. They would love an insurance goal. Going down at the edge of the box.
Set pieces play coming up for El Paso here.
Memo
Close proximity to goal.
Right. Contact made. That was I heard a whistle, but the ball was well out of play by then. And Memo Diaz will shake it off and work his way back. Shoulder injury that kept him out for a couple of months, and he credits his training staff with being able to rehab him and came back to the lineup for Locomotive. Back in the borderland, Gadsden, New Mexico, just across the state line. And it will be a set piece. It was a foul.
Yeah.
Late whistle, but wow, what a dangerous spot for someone like Alex Mendez.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We see him take possession of the ball. No one contests that. No one stands around him.
Nope.
This is yours to do what you got to do, bud.
Robert Coronado there for emotional support only. We know.
Possibly some consultation, words of encouragement.
Sure. If you doubt, take a look at the goal he scored versus New Mexico United in the U.S. Open Cup very early in the season, but certainly one of the goals of the tournament. Coming down to the semifinals in the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup, and here is Mendez. Mendez going for goal, and he did not miss by much. But again, it was a miss.
Went near post on that.
He
Took me
did.
by surprise.
Took Sierra and Dalton by surprise a bit, too.
Absolutely. You know, Duke, with 15 minutes to go and 90 minutes of regulation, I got to give Monterey Bay their due. First 20 minutes of the game, I thought it was going to be just the way the match was setting up, just complete domination by El Paso. That has not been the case. They're making a match out of this. And El Paso has to be very, very careful because at a moment's notice, we've talked about the lapses of concentration for El Paso. It could pay dividends for the visiting team here tonight.
And we are going to get a look at Zion Jones, who's about ready to come onto the pitch, along with Carl Sainty. Sainty will replace Kofi Tumasi. That is pretty much like for like. Zion Jones will take the place of Alex Mendez. So Mendez's night is done. But Zion Jones is a forward. So very interesting tactic here by Junior Gonzalez. It seems to me he still thinks he needs another goal. Zion Jones working himself back to match fitness. Coming on. We're coming to Locomotive from Slovakia. And here is Jones, first touches. Zion Jones cutting to the left foot, blocked away. Kept down, and Locomotive will touch that home. The flag is up. It won't matter. Beto Avila there to touch it back, but Memo Diaz a step ahead of the back line.
Yeah, there wasn't much intention there by Memo Diaz. He just got caught off. He was standing offsides when the play developed.
Sainty trying to find Rubin. Glasgow still chugging away on that left wing for Monterey Bay. And here he is.
But you mentioned, Duke, interesting decision there by Junior Gonzalez.
Right.
Putting more wood on the fire, trying to get the second goal, not settling for making a decision to go into a bit of a more defensive mindset, defensive formation to try and put this game to bed in the last 15 minutes of this match, not including stoppage time.
Here's Quinton Elliott on loan from Columbus Crew. Good work up to Paul. Good movement. Here's Paul to try and leg it down. Carl Sainty. Advantage played, I think. It's going to bounce Leget's way, and he tried to skim it in. But over the bar it goes. Goal kick coming.
Didn't seem like a real decision there by Leget to either cross or take a shot on goal. Just kind of put his foot to the ball, see what developed, and
says my bad.
Yeah. Knows he could have done a little bit more with that on that sequence.
33-year-old. Coming to Monterey Bay from his time at FC Dallas in Major League Soccer. Here's Gabi Torres. Takes a shove in the back. Wesley Leggett leaned in. I think that's what Gabi Torres was looking for.
Easy call there, easy decision from Matto.
Torres might be cramping a little bit. Stays on the turf. No referee tonight. John Matto comes over to have a conversation.
I think a little bit more to just kind of help him up and keep the show going on the road.
Certainly. We enter the 80th minute here in El Paso. Alfaro on the restart. The man who won MLS Cup with Seattle back in the day. 31-year-old comes to Locomotive from LA Galaxy. That was a beautiful thought. Blown up by Nakamura. They'd love to get Rubio Rubin another one. Out of the back, Farnsworth. It's kept in by Locomotive. That is a foul on Glasgow, who just launches Memo Diaz.
And here we go. Yes. Oh, no.
Well, further discussion. Glasgow. No card.
No card. He's just
but he's getting a warning.
Right? Okay,
yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, he reached for his pocket and holds his hand up.
Says, come on, man. I watched you launch him. So don't get frustrated. You've played a good game tonight. See Junior Gonzalez in the background. Along with Rolando Uribe. Coach Rolo. Speaking of advanced degrees, there's a guy who was a college professor, been a part of the U.S. men's national team youth programs for many seasons. Here's Diaz. It's a beautiful launch. That's knocked back into the middle. That was miscalculated by Ciaran Dalton. Gabi Torres gets there, but couldn't do anything with it.
He was seriously baited off of his position and goal on that one with that cross.
In no man's land, if it had landed a little better for Locomotive. And again, another dangerous turnover. Advantage played. Nowhere for Zion Jones to go, and it's taken away. But again, Memo Diaz. That's one down on the wing. Locomotive is going to win it back again, and trying to hook up with Rubio Rubin. Just a touch too far ahead. Back and forth we went.
Credit to both teams. This intensity isn't dying down by a long shot in the closing minutes of this match, Duke.
Not at all. Leggett. Nakamura. There's that man again. Glasgow. Memo Diaz's turn to take him on. Glasgow still running. Successful in crossing, but Locomotive lifts it out. Dolenmeyer gets a foot to it. Coronado, that's a great pass. And Rubin slips the leash on Egwu. Probably doesn't have the legs to run it out, but Zion Jones, Locomotive, numbers forward. Here is Gabi Torres. He'll have a go off the crossbar. My goodness. Gabi Torres has missed 3 tonight from distance, but by whiskers.
That one was the closest one. Obviously, I'm willing to say that Dalton did get a hand on that. From that point on, the ball diverts and hits the crossbar. It looks like he might have gotten
maybe a fingertip.
A fingertip on it that diverts the ball just enough to get the ball to the crossbar on the attempt by Gabi Torres.
Leggett's night is done. They will bring on Stuart Ritchie. In from One Knox SC, One Knoxville. 24-year-old from Pleasanton, California, back in his home state. Good work by Diaz to get a foot to that. It'll bounce Monterey's way. Over the top. That's a foul drawn and a card out for Noah Dolenmeyer. Elijah Paul has been a handful all night, and he draws the contact, and into the book goes the man from Thousand Oaks. Dominican national teamer. Good cross. Looking in the middle, it'll be out for a corner. Hooked out by Locomotive as Elijah Paul was lurking. Just the second corner of the night for Monterey Bay, and it'll be legit.
Important here for El Paso not to lower any kind of intensity on this corner kick. Be intense, mark your mans, and jump.
That's headed wide. Farnsworth got a good head to it. It was free and open. Could not find the corner.
Good attempt there by Elliott. Left unmarked there, Duke.
He
That's
did.
what I was talking about.
Monterey Bay, clearly. There to push. That's a good angle on the restart. Roberto. Pressure from the visitors will give them the ball. The foul won by Locomotive again. Memo Diaz has been taking a bouncing.
You took the words right out of my mouth. Poor Memo Diaz.
Diaz comes on in the 66th minute and has been pinball time for him most of the night. A new chant from our friends at Eighth Notch. The choo-choo. Over the head, it's going to get to Avila. What a move, what a pass. Avila lofting it in, had no one to send it to in those Papel Picado jerseys. It'll stay Locomotive's ball. They win the throw.
Lucky break there for Monterey Bay on that cross. It was a deflected cross. Goes right to the Monterey Bay defender. Lands at his feet. Is able to clear it away on that. It's one of those situations that could have gone very complicated for the visiting team in a blink of an eye.
Over the top, and Avila was loose. Gets to the byline. Just really didn't have anybody to send it to.
Heck of a reception.
Indeed. Work by Elliott. It's one over the top. Coronado will boot it out. It'll be a throw. Back and forth. Here's Egwu. Almost stolen away. Able to get that one to Quinton Elliott. Good turn here is going to yield the ball back. Palermo Ortiz, Avila puts it into the teeth of a Monterey double team. Here's Omari Glasgow on the right. He's everywhere. It's a strong effort, but nowhere near on target, and easy save for Abraham Romero. Easy stop. Anything but a shot on goal. Here's Avila trying to twist his way loose from Nakamura.
I'd be very interested to see the distance covered in these 90 minutes by Glasgow today.
Up and down the wing. They have him as a winger basically on the right-hand side now.
Switch sides completely.
It's a good effort by Elliott to keep it in play and keep possession. Sainty, good challenge. Slipping away. Great work in the back by Palermo Ortiz, who's way off of where he usually is in the pitch. Out to Zion Jones. Farnsworth trying to hold him at bay. That's going to be a foul on Farnsworth and another free kick coming from the right side of the area.
I got to say, that was a good sales job there by Jones, Duke. He was leaning a little bit too much. I think he couldn't keep track with his step. He was on his way down. Draws enough contact to get the foul. Excellent sales job there by...
That's what Farnsworth is telling him, I bet.
Yeah, he was on his
Good
way
work,
down.
Good work. Well, this will be Robert Coronado now that Alex Mendez is gone. Might well be taking this restart. Probably too close to the byline. Yeah, well, they'll play it short. Sainty takes it to the corner. You're at the end of the 89th minute. That's going to be another foul. Out, actually, off of Sainty.
I don't like that decision right there, Duke. There's still a little bit too many more minutes left to be doing that yet.
Actually, it is a foul on Sainty.
Yeah.
We're hearing 3 minutes of MAC.bid stoppage time here tonight. Into the 90th minute. Farnsworth launches this one forward. Easily played by Dolenmeyer. Sainty, Jones, Farnsworth over the top. Locomotive will take their time here in the 90th minute, trying to grind out what would be their second consecutive win at home for the first time this season. From April 4th to a week and a half ago, at the end of July, that's how long it took Locomotive to win 2. Here is Zion Jones. Backs it out. Thinks the better of taking that one against the double team. And there's the official signal. 3 minutes of added time. Over the top. Nicely done. Offside flag goes up. And it's do or die for Monterey Bay. Speaking of putting in a shift, you just saw him, Rubio Rubin. On the cusp of double-digit goals. He's had a couple of opportunities tonight, but has done more work in passing and, of course, dummied the ball that eventually got Locomotive the goal.
And he leads by example on that high press for El Paso Locomotive every single time, Duke. Talking about players whose metrics I like to see on distances covered, Rubio Rubin is also one that I'm always interested to see. He's got to cover more distance than your average forward. At any level of professional soccer, I have to say.
Ortiz will glance that back into touch. Here's Leggett. Leggett gets his way wide. Memo Diaz touches it. It's going to be a corner kick. Leggett, wisely seeing that last touch, allows it to go out. And it's all hands on deck.
Absolutely. Vital corner kick for El Paso Locomotive. Very, very vital.
Vital as well for Monterey Bay.
Yeah.
Sebastian Leggett, former U.S. men's national teamer. Too much contact in the box for John Matto's liking. Everybody go your separate ways, please. Leggett, in swinging ball that is headed firmly out by Alfaro. Good slip. That's great work to stay with it. Zion Jones, what a defensive effort. Earns the throw in, keeps it from going out over the byline, and he's fired up for himself.
A very valid fist pump there in his effort in avoiding and negating the corner kick for Monterey Bay.
Quentin Elliott thwarted by the Locomotive forward. Gotta love it when your forwards are out there doing the D.
Absolutely.
Great work defensively.
Less than 30 seconds to go in the 3 minutes of stoppage time, Duke.
Indeed, into the final seconds. We'll see exactly how long John Matto lets this one go. But Abraham Romero John Matto steps forward. Abraham Romero sees the referee coming toward him, lets it rip. That's 3 added. Throw in coming for Locomotive. Diaz over the top. Rubin.
Now you can go to the corner.
Right? Goal kick coming, but that's it. And that's all. Locomotive FC, for the first time this season, with 2 consecutive home wins. Alex Mendez' goal in the 30th minute stands up for the next 60. And Locomotive back to 500, trying to move their way up the Western Conference. What a gutsy effort by this Locomotive team.
Yes, Duke, and a very entertaining match, a competitive match that developed here today at Southwest University Park. Monterey Bay, despite being dead last in the conference standings, definitely didn't play a team like that tonight. They managed the game well. They improved over the course of 90 minutes to be a good competition for El Paso Locomotive tonight. At the end of the day, El Paso was able to hang on at home with a 1-0 victory.
Monterey Bay with its 12th loss of the season. That's 4 straight. After that win, their last win coming June 20th against Locomotive FC. But since then, it has been 1 draw and 4 straight losses. But Locomotive, 25 points, improves their position a little bit, ties them with Switchbacks and Lexington SC. Locomotive does not jump them in the standings, but earns their 7th win to improve to 7-7-4. And Locomotive will go for 3 straight at home this Saturday versus Oakland Roots SC. Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll have our Estrella of the match, have a look at the save of the match as well. Plenty more coming your way from Southwest University Park. The final score, Locomotive FC 1, Monterey Bay FC 0.
I'm Rob Lovett.
And I'm Russell Murray.
You're a trusted local law firm serving the city of Las Cruces for over 20 years.
The insurance companies do not have your best interest in mind when offering a settlement.
Before dealing with your insurance company, you need to know your rights and your options. Lovett & Murray Law Firm is proud to represent and help the people of this community.
Call the Lovett & Murray Law Firm today.
Hi, My name is Dr. Carlos Viesca with Border Pain Institute, and today I would like to introduce you to a new modality to treat joint pain, either shoulder, knee, or any other type of joint pain, called PNS, short for peripheral nerve stimulation, which is highly successful. So if you or anyone you know suffers from these type of ailments, please call us at 915-857-4130.
Your weekend just got exciting. Make plans for Saturday, August 8th at Vado Speedway Park, where the Extreme Landscaping Stock Cars, SH Automotive Pure Stocks, Mendoza Law Firm, USRA A-Mods, Holsey Racing INEX Legends, and Anthony Sosa Roofing Late Models go head-to-head to see who comes out on top. Located right off I-10 between El Paso and Las Cruces at the Vado exit. Gates open at 5 p.m. with racing starting at 7:30 p.m. Get your tickets today at VadoSpeedwayPark.com.
Welcome back, Locomotive. Locomotive 1-0 over Monterey Bay. Duke Keith, Joe Rodriguez here with you from Southwest University Park on a warm and buggy summer's evening in El Paso, Texas. Locomotive gets it done to win their second straight at home for the first time this season, and that was impressive. Locomotive really had to suffer. They wanted the second goal. Obviously, the substitutions, Joe, I think were about that, but they were able to make it stick defensively.
Yeah, no, absolutely. They did what they had to do on the defensive end of the line. But like I mentioned, Junior Gonzalez's decision as far as those substitutions, pretty much just substituting man for man on all of those decisions there to bring in fresh legs onto the field of play. And at the end of the day, it was enough for the Locomotive to hold on for the victory. Credit once again to Monterey Bay doing the best that they could.
Monterey Bay winds up with the majority of possession, 51 to 49% over the course of the game. All right, let's take a look at our Physical Therapy Balance and Hand Center's play of the game. And it is, of course, the goal. Beautiful dummy, Rubio Robin. You just saw the flash of the black jersey. That sprung Alex Mendez, and he hammers that one from about 22 yards out for the goal. That was the goal. And it came in the 30th minute. Locomotive for the next 60 had to hang on. Monterey Bay with a majority of possession in the second half. But that is the difference here at Southwest University Park tonight. All right, let's send it down pitch side with Andres and our estrella of the match.
I'm down here with La Estrella, man of the match, Alex Mendez. We just saw you put that beautiful goal into the net. It was beautiful. How do you feel? It's a 2 in a row that we have a clean sheet here at home. How do you feel about that?
Good. I feel happy. I think I think the team should be proud of what we did, especially with the clean sheet. I think that just goes to show that we're all working as a team, and I'm happy for the goal.
And then take me through the process. We know we just saw it up on the Jumbotron, but take me through the process. What were you thinking when you put that game winner through the goal?
Yeah, no, I saw when Eric hit the pass and it just went straight through. And once I got the ball, I was like, I just saw eyes for the goal, and I was like, I'm going to try it. And then, luckily it went in.
Excellent. That's awesome. So on Saturday, we got a big game, another Western Conference matchup. We're going against Oakland. How should the fans feel? We got to get a packed house in here. We got to get it going, keep the momentum rolling.
Yeah, no, I think it should be a great game. I think, I would love for all the fans to be out here, fill up the seats. I think, we've won 2 in a row here at home. And it just goes to show that our fans are really good for us, and they help out a lot.
Thank you, Alex. You have a good one. Great game, sir. Give it up to Alex Mendoza.
Andres, 1-0, Alex Mendez with the goal. And it was his match winner, the only goal of the night, his first since July 4th when he scored the only goal of the night versus Las Vegas Lights FC.
Yeah, I guess if you have to win by the minimal difference, Alex
Good to
Mendez
have Alex Mendez.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Take a look at the stats here, and what are you seeing? 17 shots to 6. Again, Monterey Bay with majority of the possession. A lot of that coming in the second half. But Locomotive did what it needed to do, and really Abraham Romero not very troubled, I don't think, even in that second half.
Yeah, no, absolutely. The big sequences, the big defensive stops from the goalkeepers, and definitely came from the goalkeepers for Monterey Bay today. Romo, very calm, very collected, not really challenged. Obviously, 6 shots, 1 shot on target for Monterey Bay, and tell the story of that situation. But still, no, Duke, also credit goes, as far as this game goes, to that defensive line. One thing that I wanted to mention the entire game, but I don't want to bring on the announcer's curse, is definitely one man that's getting my attention with every passing match. The more minutes he gets, has to be Tony Alfaro on the defensive effort. He's been guilty. He's been a victim of being late to plays, being late to the spots to defend, to block passes. He's been guilty of that. Not so much as of late. Hopefully that's a sign of that progression, and that continues, because definitely a player with Tony's size on that defensive line is vital. You get him in sequence, he's going to be a lockdown defender, and that's what this team needs.
A beautiful Wednesday evening in downtown El Paso. Locomotive FC with the 1-0 win. Their first consecutive or back-to-back sets of wins this season here at Southwest University Park. Rubio Rubin thought he had one. Jacob Jackson says no. What a beautiful fingertip save. Locomotive, as you pointed out rightfully, very much stopped by and thwarted by the goalkeepers from Monterey Bay. Jacob Jackson in the first half, Ciaran Dalton in the second. They combined to do a wonderful job, but this was the difference maker. Alex Mendez, 22 yards out. Boy, it jumped up just right for him on that half volley.
Yeah, absolutely. That little bump that only offensive players are familiar with in their home offensive third definitely helped them out on that sequence right there.
So we hope you join us again on Saturday evening as Locomotive will return. It'll be Women Supporting Women Night here at Locomotive and Southwest University Park. That is Saturday night versus Oakland Roots SC. And 2 big wins, or 2 big games rather, for Locomotive. 2 big wins on the bounce here at Southwest University Park. They'll be looking for an unprecedented 3rd this season at home as they try to make their way up the standings.
Yeah, absolutely. El Paso needs to work on making Southwest University Park that palace of fortitude that they've been known for in seasons past, where they get results here at home. That's something that hasn't happened in El Paso for a couple of seasons.
You're quite right. We appreciate you being with us again, Joe, always.
Always a pleasure.
And we will see you Saturday night. For Joe Rodriguez, for our producer, Parker Landreth, our director, Mr. Justin Hodge, pardon me, and all of our crew here at Southwest University Park. You'd think I'd get that right by now. Geesh. Sorry, Justin. It is the final score, Locomotive FC 1 and Monterey Bay 0. For all of us here in El Paso, I'm Duke Keith. Until Saturday night, so long, everybody.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.